One of the greatest things for me were simple games. Activities that just took your mind off whatever was going on in your life. Things like NES games would make me burst with joy. When I was a kid, this and Godzilla were my two favorite things in the world. I'd be up day and night playing games and watching whatever movies I could. I didn't like all of them. Godzilla 1985 was one I was not a fan of. I liked the more classic movies. But one day, these two collided into one of my favorite games, Godzilla Monster of Monsters on the NES. I love this game. I still remember pleading with my mom to get it. Eventually, she caved in and bought me the game. Unfortunately, I traded it for Action 52 about a year later, much to my dismay to see what that game was like. Never got it back. About a few weeks ago, a friend messaged me saying that he'd give me a few NES games of my choosing. I chose out a few titles like The Legend of Zelda, Mario Bros. I got the plumbing game, not the platformer, among a few others, but none really compared to Godzilla, and he had to come first. I plugged the game into my dusty old NES, started playing. I never asked my friend where he got it from. The title screen music always did make me feel nostalgic. Brings me back to simpler times. Playing through the game again really showed me how nostalgia blinded me. These levels seem to blend together, never truly being all that fun. Honestly, I was about to quit, annoyed at how my childhood games sucked. Smashing through tanks and jets just gets really boring quickly. And the mountains in the way are a constant nuisance. That was until I got to Gazora. Gazora's strategy consisted of him beating you into a wall until the fight ended around 40-ish seconds. You and Gazora would regain some health. Was never that effective, but God, it was annoying. When Gazora did his weird trap move, something strange happened. The screen glitched out, emitting this horrible screeching noise, like a fork scratching on a plate. Everything was covered in what I assume is the font of the game, and his eyes sprite along with the weird blob of pixels that I couldn't make out covered the rest of the screen. I unplugged the cartridge, did the old blow trick, and put it back in. When I re-entered the fight, everything went smoothly. I now know that this was one of many signs to turn back, to just shut off the damn thing. The rest of Earth and Mars went smoothly. Nothing particularly interesting. Mars, however, was a different case. I scrolled to the left of the board and was surprised to not see Varan, but the sea serpent from King Kong Escapes. Safe to say, I was bewildered at sight of such a weird kaiju, and not even one from the Toho franchise. Maybe Godzilla Monster of Monsters was meant to be a collaboration between the two, but it got scrapped? Honestly, I was just trying to make sense of this at the time. And it being a collaboration was the most rational explanation at the time. I blitzed through the world to fight him, hoping to see if he had any new sprites. I forgot just how much I hated the volcano levels. Everything about them. Certainly doesn't help that they're everywhere. Just wanted to throw my thoughts out. Then I got to Mogira. The fight was normal and boring until he backed up and did something crazy. I've watched many Godzilla movies, but none of them had him do this. Maybe it was an unused attack, seeing as his information on the UI and palette had freaked out. My jaw dropped. If I were living in a cartoon, it'd be on the floor. This had to be an early version of some kind. Something Nintendo used to test if the game worked before continuing to add and remove things, including replacing the crossover characters. Naturally, my mind wandered to the question, would this even be possible? I mean, if it's a prototype, what if Planet X isn't even in the game? This kind of planted into my head that I wanted to complete the game now, to see what happens, for fun. Surprisingly, there were no issues with Godzilla. I guess the blow trick worked. This game had pulled me from when I was just bored right to seeing something new, like it almost knew. Right when I was about to get up and leave, it almost reacted to me, not wanting me to leave. God, I'm rambling. Sorry about that. Next was the moment I really wanted to see the most. The sea serpent. I slammed through the rest of Mars to see him in action. I wondered what terrible glitches would happen this time, but surprisingly, it was fine. He played fine, but he didn't have any animation. At all. He'd slide back and forth and bite me when I got too close. Bite in quotation, because I'd just take damage. Again, no animations. It was definitely unfinished from the looks of it. A fun fight, but lackluster. I had fun with the snake, but eventually I captured the base and moved on to the next planet. Pathos.